yourself from a beautiful fresh Hyde Park, man. It's a lovely day. So today I just wanted to talk about the importance of life cycles and understanding where they play a role in our life and everything we do, basically. So it's my belief, my spiritual belief, that we're here on this planet. It's like a big fucking library. It's like a big library here to learn. We're here to grow as people. You know, we're here to learn from certain mistakes and try and live the best that we can, so that, you know, one day we evolve and move off to wherever it is that we go, you know. Now, cycles. You'll go through certain cycles in your life, and I believe that some situations that we're in now, in this life, can be cycles passed on that we haven't learned lessons from the last. So, for instance, you hear people say things like, sometimes, like, why does this always happen to me? Why is it I can't do this? Why does that always happen? Now, because you're in cycles and you're not learning the lessons from them. And if you don't learn the lessons, you're going to keep going round and round. Time isn't linear. There's not a starting point and a finishing point. Everything goes in circles, and you'll just get presented with the same scenarios over and over again in your life, round and round and round. There'll be different people, there'll be different faces, but there'll be very, very similar situations, unless you can ground yourself and understand what these lessons are that you're trying to learn. So you might be relationships, you might be with someone for 10, 15 years, and then, you know, after that time you just kind of drift apart amicably. And it's because at some point you've been like two wheels on a bike going at a different speed. You started off together, and then, you know, as you grow spiritually and mentally, you drift off. Now, one cycle has to close before you can get into another. So if you're in toxic relationships, or you're in a job you don't want to be, and you're just hanging it out, you're never going to improve, you're never going to evolve and move on to the next level of where you need to be. I mean, at the end of the day, as I tell my Daisy, we've only got this life to live. Everything else you've got, your cars, your clothes, your houses, every fucking thing, man, goes to the ground, goes into the dirt, or someone else has it when we pass. Everything's borrowed. Nothing's owned, everything's borrowed, and the only thing we do have are moments in time, our time while we're here. Now, I don't want to sound all morbid than that, but I don't think there's many people that really know their great-grandparents. Definitely not your great-great-grandparents. So we've literally only got this time, a space of maybe 100 years for us to make our mark, and people to remember our names, and after that we're done and we're dusted and we've moved on. But yeah, going back to the cycles, it's important to understand your lessons from them, because if you don't, you're going to keep going round and round in very, very similar situations. I mean, Jung, who was one of the founders of psychotherapy, he didn't believe in coincidences. He said coincidences are a nonsense, and it's all the energy that we attract that puts us in certain places at certain times. And it's in the subconscious where everything lays. Now, to give you an idea of how deep and how vast our minds are, now you can imagine yourself in the ocean. You're on your own, you're treading water in the ocean, and all around you, as far as you can fucking see, is just sea everywhere, all around you, 360. You're just surrounded by ocean. Underneath you, it's as deep as you can possibly imagine. You're just surrounded by blackness and ocean. And the more you keep looking, you see in the horizon a tiny little dot, like a small little island. If you focus on that island there, that is your conscious of what we do and what we say and what we feel on a day-to-day basis. Everything else, that massive abyss that you're in and you're around, that's your subconscious. Now, that's how much that goes on in the back of our minds that we don't fucking know about. We don't. I mean, they say you use 2% of your mind or your brain power, whatever. It's even less than that. It gives you an idea of what goes on. Everything's connected. Your dreams, your thoughts, the way you act, your anger. Your anger that people have is often belongs in different places. Most often it's an anger it's rooted from childhood. So there could be certain things you fly off the handle about, and you know you're over dramatic. You're wondering why you're getting so fucking angry, and that's down to past cycles that you haven't sat down and thought about and tried to correct. Me myself, I mean, I've been doing a lot of kind of work on myself spiritually over the last 18 months or so, and fuck me, it's cold, boy. And yeah, it's enlightening. It really is, when you can kind of control, well, not control, I don't think it was ever meant to be out of control, but if you can kind of get to grips with what your purpose may be, and try and drill down on where things are going wrong, then things do get better. They really, really do. But as I say, life is not linear, time's not linear. I'm going to keep going round and round in circles, revisiting very, very similar situations. And the thing that changes them is how we respond to them. We can't change how people around us act, but we can change how we respond to people. And that's the fucking key. That is the key to it all. Learning, spiritual and mental growth. And when you're faced with these situations, being able to adapt and respond in a more positive way. And then of course it helps, man. It's God's work. When you've got these experiences and you're equipped to deal with these, then you pass them down. You speak to your children. So even when you are going through shit situations, you're thinking, why me? Why this? Why that? You've got to try and take the positives from it. You know, we're there to learn and pass down, so that our kids, if our kids ever come to us and say, Dad, I'm in this situation here, what do I do? You say, right, take a chair, my boy, and you can tell them how you responded to it all. You know, so it's worth taking that time to work on yourself, because that's what we need to do. Self-work. There's nothing more important than family and a good woman in your life. Nothing more important. Not your mates, not the pub, not the fucking club, not the beach, not the pool party, not the car, not the house, nothing. All goes back, all temporary. The love of your family and the love of a fucking great, great woman is what you need in your life. And for women too, you know, you need a good man. It's all about trying to find someone you can connect with spiritually and bond and be willing to grow. I mean, don't get twisted, I've enjoyed a party as much as the next man, but you know, it's all about realising what really matters in this life, and drilling down to make the best of it as you possibly can. So yeah, that's it. It's my little meandering thoughts around the park today. Life cycles. When you're hitting a wall and you're coming up against your troubles, look, I don't think why me, just think what is the lesson behind this? Look into it. What am I missing? What am I not doing right? What am I doing that's the same as what I've always fucking done? Just give yourself that little bit of time, a little bit of time to breathe and have a think, and I promise you things come clearer and better. Anyway, adios, have a good day. Layers.